trying to get internal affairs number, and it's held up. This is how they control calls. And then when I start recording, then it immediately comes up. It's the police department's number, not internal affairs. I have a question. I reported multiple different crimes, and none of them has been are being investigated. And I wanted to know the charges or the consequences for denying someone law enforcement and corruption.
Okay, and you have reported what cards, sir?
I reported like 15, 20, if not more than that, crimes being committed over and over again, and I'm being deprived of law enforcement and corruption. So what can I do? I want this to end, and its consequences for abusing your badges and guns and depriving someone of law enforcement and corruption. That's criminal. And a lot of the other things that I experienced. So what am I supposed to do when no one has had accountability for criminal activity?
Okay, do you have a report number, ma'am?
I can give you my name.
What's your name?
How many reports do you see?
I don't know, I haven't pulled them out.
You don't think it would have been more appropriate to say just one moment? Instead of, I don't know, I haven't pulled it up? Sorry, I just did customer service, and I get a lot of psychological abuse making phone calls that have been unaddressed years.
Open cases.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I don't see that there's any open reports or cases under your name.
Oh, what's going on with all of them?
What type of reports were you? Because you said that it was.
You said that there was no open cases, ma'am. Are you covering for crimes? What's your name?
My operator ID is Nora031.
Okay, so I first off, I asked you how many cases, multiple times, and then you said I don't know, I haven't looked yet, and you still haven't answered it. And then you deflected with saying I don't see any open cases.
I don't see any open cases.
But you still haven't answered the question, how many cases do you see?
Okay, 0.
Okay, so how many reports do you see? Let's say it that way.
0.
So you don't show that I reported anything?
I don't see any cases with your name.
You just said that they're all closed.
I said I don't see any open cases.
Okay, let me speak with your supervisor because you're covering for crimes. I made multiple different reports and you don't see any of them?
1 second.
7 minutes and 34 seconds.
Hey, Supervisor, is Adam?
Supervisor what?
This is Adam.
Okay. Do you, do you have an employee ID or anything?
My employee number is L170. That's my ID number.
Okay. Well, I asked your operator. She would not tell me about the cases that I have or the reports that I've made. She said that they've all been closed. And then when I asked her how many she saw, she kept saying 0. There's been a pattern of representatives covering for crimes, depriving me of the ability to report, and sabotaging information. So I asked her multiple different times, how many reports does she see? She wouldn't answer it.
Okay.
So how many reports do you see?
I haven't said something. They're not investigating your reports. Is that what you're saying?
Are you refusing to tell me how many reports you see as well? Because you're deflecting like she did?
That's what the problem is what I'm trying to find out.
I think you guys are con artists, sir. I'm asking once again, can you please tell me how many reports you see?
What's your name?
She put you on the phone and didn't tell you any information? That was rude.
What's your name, ma'am?
Are you being rude, sir? It's Key.
I'm being direct. What is your name?
It's Key. So I have to give all my personal information to these scammers because the police department denies me law enforcement and any kind of remedy for this issue. Just give them all my personal information, and I have had identity theft, and nothing's repetitively done.
now I got a total of 20 reports on you, possibly more.
Okay, that's just for Fort Worth. Okay, so how many investigators do you show? What did your why did your representative say that they were all closed? What was that about?
That what?
Why did your representative say that they were all closed? What was that about?
Well, the reports could be closed. Basically,
You're a supervisor, sir. You said could.
Sorry?
You're a supervisor that's on the phone.
I'm not a detective. I'm not a detective supervisor.
Well, your representative was up under you, and she said they were closed.
Why they're closed or not? I don't know, ma'am.
Okay, your representative, you said could, and your representative said that they were all closed.
They could be closed. I don't know. I haven't seen for myself.
Oh, well, can you? I want to get down to the bottom of why people have been rude 6 years and covering for crime. Spoofing calls is criminal. And if you people are identity thieves and are using the techniques that you use for identity theft on me to keep me quiet and conceal these crimes that have been committed and keep for cover up, that has to be a federal crime.
We're not doing anything of the sort.
No, for 6 years, my calls have been rude and are abnormal. And people everywhere I call seem to be covering for crimes and psychologically abusive.
And where else is this happening at?
First off, we were supposed to be checking to see if they were closed.
So I'm asking, is it happening somewhere else besides Fort Worth?
Yes. But right now, let's concentrate on, are they closed?
Well, I'm asking the questions, ma'am.
Okay, so I called in to get information, and you're taking control and you're asking the questions. This is how it's been years, so let me answer your questions. Okay, so what question do you need answered before you'll answer mine?
I'm looking up your questions as we speak. So the one report here that you got was info only.
Roommate speaking. I'm sorry?
This was made yesterday.
To herself. I'm sorry?
You made a report yesterday?
Oh, you saw the report? Because he didn't give me a report number. I guess since I recorded him tampering with evidence, that he went ahead and conned the report, so he wouldn't get that felony charge. What's the report number from yesterday?
It's 2400-27151.
Okay. So, how many closed reports do you see?
Hold on, I'm navigating through this program right now.
Okay.
It is categorized as an information-only report.
I asked how many of them were closed. My phone's malfunctioning now as we speak. All my devices. I'm sorry?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll give you the number to the Central Division. You can call down there and ask for them. That's where they would all be routed to, and they can tell you how many active cases you have.
Okay, so why does she have it and you're supervisor and you don't have it?
Okay, I'm giving you this phone number, ma'am. You want it? Yes or no?
Hold on. The report number is 2400-27151.
Yes, ma'am. That was yesterday.
Okay. I'm trying to put it in my descriptions, and it's malfunctioning. All my devices malfunction. They're being controlled illegally. So you asked for the detective. You guys are still refusing to tell me any information, the detective or anything to get any justice?
The detective will let you know what do you have open and what do you have closed.
Okay, well, you didn't give me the detective and your supervisor. You're doing the same thing your representative was doing, sabotaging information. I'm sorry?
You ready for the detective's office?
They don't call me back. I've been calling months.
Okay. Well, let me give you their phone number so you can call them again.
Who's okay? Do you have a supervisor?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. So what's the number that you wanted to give me?
The number is for the Central Detective's office.
Okay. The number?
It's 817-392-3905.
And you had me on hold to find out how many were closed. And then your response was you gave me another number after you had me hold all this time.
Can't tell one way or the other. All your reports go to that unit. They know who you are and they have your information. They'll be able to look up how many open reports, closed reports
And that's for a Central Detective. What is it
ma'am.
called again?
The Central Detectives Division.
And that's the number you want me to call now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And with 20 something cases, and your representative said that they were closed, and then you don't want me to give me the information as a supervisor. You want me to call somewhere else to get the same kind of madness as they've been doing
Because
yours.
that's who has,
So
that,
just a
that's who has
runaround
your
for
information,
games.
ma'am.
I'm
That's
sorry.
who has your information.
I'm just
That's
trying to
who has your
incriminate people,
report.
sir, because I know this is an incredible story. So I'm trying to do what I can to expose that my phone calls are being spoofed and corruption, and that you guys are probably identity thieves. You don't get rude
There's
people
probably no way for
6
us to
years
identify
covering for
that, ma'am.
crimes everywhere you call. So I'm just
The
trying to
best thing
show
you
that
do is
there's
go
an
get a new phone
identity
number
theft
and a new
ring.
phone.
If people haven't cared about me, then maybe they'll care about how the identity theft is taking over this world. Okay, sir, let me go ahead and try to call this number.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Jessica Ramirez is not available.
Voicemail. It's on
Record your
purpose.
message at
They
the
don't call me
tone.
back.
When you are finished, hang up or
I like the number for internal affairs.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Internal affairs.
Okay, let me get your number. One moment.
Okay.
Affairs Division for English.
What in the world is that
File
about?
a formal complaint referencing Fort Worth police
Oh.
officer's conduct. You may also please provide the officer's
Now they're not
name
answering
or
the
report
phone.
number. If not,
I've called
someone
before,
will return your call as soon
and they
as
don't
possible.
return my
To
calls.
the same address as that. Thank you for
Trying
calling
to do the descriptions.
Internal Affairs Division.
The
For
keyboard
English, please
disappeared
press
again.
1. Para español, oprima dos.
You saw on the same device how it malfunctioned, and now they don't want me doing it. The descriptions and has the keyboard disappearing. All my devices are controlled in corruption.
If you have a question and would like to speak to an investigator, please press 2. If you are calling
Still going?
Detective Ferrell, Internal Affairs.
Yes, I have a question. I have several reports, and an investigator has never called me ever. And then they gave me a couple investigators information, and I've left messages for them, and they still won't call me back. Can you tell me what's going on with my reports?
Sure.
And what's your batch number?
My batch number is 4242.
Okay, and I'm sorry, how do you spell your name?
It is Ferrell. It's going to be S as in Frank, E as in Edward, R as in Robert, R as in Robert, E as in Edward, L as in Lincoln,
Okay.
L as in Lincoln. And what is your name, ma'am?
It's Kiana. Yes.
Okay.
You know me?
I've spoke with you before.
Okay. I thought we had, but I wasn't sure.
Appreciate your patience. I'm just waiting for my computer to log in
Okay.
on this system.
You too. Have a good day.
And you're just wanting an update on your case?
How many reports do you show?
I was waiting on you to provide me with the case number.
How many reports do you show for my name that I just gave you my information on? People make it so difficult. I did tell you that I was on the phone multiple different times recording, and that did you leave that open or did she leave it open? Okay. I get. Okay. So how many reports do you show? You don't want me to know that?
What is your date of birth, then? 20 reports.
Okay. And how many are open? Well, how many are closed?
I would have to go through each one to be able to tell you that.
Are you denying me the right to know?
No,
because
ma'am.
this is my life, and I need to know because I've made reports. These are critical. This is critical evidence, and I would like to have the right to know how many are closed. This is very important to me. I had to endure a lot of abuse for 6 years, so this is critical that I know what's going on with these cases and my reports.
Okay, ma'am. I would have to go through each one, and that is going to take some time. So it would be better suited if I'd have to go through each one and give you a call back. Are there any in particular case numbers that you're
Okay, do
interested
you
in
show a
knowing about?
detective? Because each time I'm calling into the police department, they make it impossible for me to get any results or consequences for my experiences.
Okay, what I can do, I can also give you the phone number to our records division, and they'll be able to assist
I
you as
thought I would
well
like to
with
have
getting
rights and be
copies
like
of the
every other
report.
citizen. I would like to be heard and have rights and be like every other citizen and not have the police department commit crimes to keep me from information and records. So I would like, for what it's for years it's been impossible for me to find out detectives. You can't tell me that. Can you let me know what detectives have been assigned?
Yes, ma'am. Do you have any case number in particular that you're interested in?
No. I think all of my cases are important to me.
Okay. What I'd have to do is, like I said, I'd have to go through each one and
How long
now
does
the
it take? I
detectives,
can be on. I can hold. How long does it take to go through each one?
that I cannot give a timetable. I don't like to give people a timetable. It's not fair to do.
Okay.
Do you have
So
any official complaint
this
that
is
I can
internal
assist you
affairs. Well,
with?
let me report this. Okay. What is your position with internal affairs?
Detective.
Okay. I have been denied law enforcement. My phone is hacked and I have evidence. Do you have my YouTube channel?
Yes, ma'am, and I've reviewed your YouTube channel.
Okay, so if you see my phone consistently malfunctions and I believe that my abuser hacked it, what has been done?
Ma'am, as part of my investigation, when I had one, there was no evidence of your phone being hacked.
I think that you guys are covering for crimes. If I can't do uploads and all these different glitches, that's evidence. And then if I can't get calls, a lot of times in the text, people don't get the text on time. Like get it 3 or 4 hours later when I'm trying to have an outing with people. I think you guys are tampering with evidence. That's a felony charge. There's consequences for covering for crimes, and then depriving a citizen of law enforcement in your corruption is a federal charge. You're
No,
not
ma'am, we're
being
not
honest,
tampering
sir.
with
You're
evidence.
crooked. You're crooked, and those are consequences for covering for crimes. Tampering with evidence is a felony, and you have evidence that my phone is hacked, and you're being dishonest and covering for it. And then, in addition to
No, ma'am.
that, these detectives won't call me back and give me proper investigation, and you guys are covering for it, and that makes you accomplices. What you're doing is criminal.
Ms.
You
Clark,
can't
do you
just
know something to
decide
write
to
with?
cover for crimes year after year, 20 something reports and nothing done. Forcing me to have to be on
Ms.
this
Clark,
phone network talking to counterfeits years. You giving my social security number and birth dates to them because I
Ms. Clark,
can't
can
get
I give
law
you the number
enforcement.
for our records division?
I'm on the line with internal affairs, important reporting crimes, and you're disregarding it, which is a criminal. Tampering with evidence is a felony, and you've already
No,
done it
ma'am, I'm
before.
not discarding
I'm
it. Can I
giving
give
you
you the phone
evidence,
number
and
to
you
the
keep
records
trying to
division?
disregard me and distract and deflect. I'm giving you evidence, and what you're doing is criminal. Forcing me to be on a hack network, and I've already had identity theft, all kinds of directions, even the Social Security Administration and the Child Support Division unaddressed, keeping me from my children in corruption on blatant lies and stuff. Nothing's repetitively done.
No,
I'm
ma'am.
trying to incriminate people. You guys have gotten away with this years. All police departments targeting someone in corruption is federal charges that you
Ms.
guys have
Clark,
yet
as
to
I
get,
stated in
that
the
you have earned
previous
years
email,
ago. I just
as I
don't know what
stated
to
in the
do,
previous
Ferrell,
email,
because you were tampering with evidence last time and you're still doing it
okay.
because you've had no
Well, as I
consequences.
stated in the previous email that I shared
You're
with you,
internal affairs and you
there's
keep
no policy
talking over me
violations
when I'm
into
reporting
your
felonies.
complaint.
You are internal affairs and you choose to talk over me when I'm giving you evidence and
No,
reporting
ma'am.
criminal activity.
No, ma'am.
That's what you're doing. I'm reporting criminal
Can
activity
I
that
give
I'm.
you the number to our records division before I go?
No, I'm just trying to incriminate people, sir, because you guys have gotten away with tampering with evidence and covering for crimes a long time. So let me make sure I understand you have not given me an investigator and you refuse to take the report of misconduct with officers. You refuse to
No, ma'am,
take
I
that in
never
your
said
internal
that.
affairs, that you're a detective with internal. Well, I'm giving you information right now. You keep talking over me, disregarding me, like you did last time. So what am I going to do if all locations I'm reporting crimes to cover for them? And then force me to be
I
on a
was
hack
trying to
phone
share with
network
you.
talking to scammers year after year, getting mistreated and psychological abuse from call to call.
Okay, Miss Clark, I'm gonna end the phone call.
Why was you in the phone call while I'm reporting crimes? I've had to do that and endure that all over the place. He hung up. It's on purpose. When my abuser's mad, these scammers lash out. But he's controlling my phone, so they're never going to do anything. They're on his payroll.
Now,
They're not answering the
someone
phone again.
will return your call as soon as possible.
I'm calling internal affairs. They
Please
still
press
won't answer. This is Officer Kendall that was intimidating me at the church, Arbalon Church. I'm calling to see why he didn't do anything about people conspiring to violate my rights and depriving me of services.
Division.
Yes. Do you have a Kendall there?
Do I have a who?
Kendall, Officer Kendall, badge 4784.
Yes, but Officer Kendall does not work. He works overnight.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
I need to know what's going on with my cases, and it's been impossible for me to find out. And I'm getting targeted, as well as I'm in a domestic violence crisis with that involves stalking. And I can't get anything accomplished because I can't get information on the cases and records to see what's going on. Can you help me?
I can certainly try, ma'am. Do you have a report number?
Can I give you my name?
Okay. What is that report number, ma'am?
I can't give you my name.
Oh, you can, but a report number is easier. Otherwise, with name, I'm filtering through.
There's so many reports. It didn't used to be so difficult. You used to could give your name, and then people would give case information. Other people have, but it's impossible for me. Have you looked to see if?
I can still look it up. I can still try to look it up by your name. It's just report number is the easiest way.
Okay, I did say multiple different times. Can I give you my name?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm sorry.
When did the incident, like the case that you're asking about, do you know about when it happened?
Okay, so I've been on hold all this time. I gave you my information, and you looked over the cases, and your responses. When did they happen?
So I haven't looked over the cases because in our RMS system, nothing popped up under your name. I'm looking under a different system right now, and I'm trying to narrow down when the incident happened so I can possibly locate a report number to then be able to reference to you. I have not located the report as of this time.
Oh, you put my information in and nothing came up?
Correct. So I'm trying to locate you a different way.
Yeah, someone just said that they saw 20 reports, so maybe you put my information in wrong.
Last name Clark.
Right.
First name Keyana.
Right. Did you get
425? So in RMS, which is our report writing system, nothing is popping up under that name, which is why I'm searching a different method.
Oh, okay. Because it's been impossible. Like it's orchestrated and procedural. It's like it's intentional for me not to get anything done. And what charges would one have if they intentionally deprive someone of law enforcement and then tamper with evidence repetitively? What are the consequences for police?
I am trying to help you. I don't understand why you're being so hostile with me.
I get gaslit, ma'am. What was your name?
My name is Officer Rossell, 4789.
Okay,
and
so
I'm trying to look at your case and doing what you're asking.
when I asked what crimes the police department was committing by tampering with evidence, I got hostile with you?
You're not cooperating. I'm trying to look up what you're asking through a different way, but you're just getting upset. I'm not saying that.
Are you gaslighting me? You sure this is what the police? What did I call?
I'm sorry. What was?
What did I call?
Can you repeat that?
What did I call?
You called the front desk of our East Division sector.
Of who? What did I call? Is this a bakery? What did I call?
You called the police department, ma'am, as I stated when I first entered the phone.
Well, I'm just trying to show that these are scammers that I'm talking to, and they have to pause because they don't know what I've called. I'm trying to incriminate people, ma'am. Okay, so I don't know what to do if I cannot get you guys keep covering for crimes and tampering with evidence with no consequences and gaslighting me when you're caught in your criminal activity and enlisting other people to do the same thing.
So since you asked about Officer Kendall, was Officer Kendall the one that took your report, ma'am?
Officer Kendall, I was wanting to know why he was condoning a church to deprive me of all assistance and then threatened that I can't come back to the church for recording that they weren't giving me helping me. And why, if he has my YouTube channel, has he done absolutely nothing? In fact, cover for crimes. So I just don't understand when people will get their consequences for the consequences for their actions. So I keep calling. All police departments don't want me to have records, and then lie and make try to make me believe that there's no way possible that I can get any information on my cases unless I get records. And then with records, crimes are committed. I've tried to get records and can't. I just don't know why I have to go through all these hoops to get nowhere that other citizens don't have to go through. And why all these lies, I can't find it. I mean, any lie that they can come up with to sabotage evidence and keep me in my abuse, that's what they do. So if you guys refuse to abide by the law and keep lying, what is the expectation for me to continue to endure this insanity? 20 something reports that you guys have conned and deprived me of law enforcement for, as well as all police departments I come in contact with. And if forcing me to be on a hacked phone network, talking to scammers, giving my social security number and all kind of information, can't get my calls year after year and nothing's done. And then at each place I call, it started arguments and psychologically abusive, and nothing's repetitively done.
So, ma'am, if you're concerned about you're not sure who you're talking to, like if you don't believe that you're talking to someone from the police department right now, you're more than welcome to
It's impossible for me to get any information on my cases and to figure out what's going on for years. I'm on the phone. Days have turned into weeks, years. You still have yet to tell me what's going on with these, if they're closed or what's going on. I've been in this twilight zone years of no one willing to tell me anything on my reports all over the place. So if you can't find them and everybody else found them, can you get a supervisor? Maybe your supervisor can find them. I don't know why reports are lost so routinely. Do you think they did something to the system since you can't find? I'm not, babe. I'm reporting criminal activity, ma'am.
to see who's available.
I'm just saying that if multiple different people saw the reports, you think they did something to the system and then it disappeared with you?
I'm not saying that it disappeared with me.
You said you couldn't see it.
Look it up other ways.
No, I wanted to look it up the same way they did with my name, so you can get all of them.
What I am doing, but nothing is pulling up.
Right, we've already addressed that. So I'm just asking you, do you think they did something to the systems since other people were able to pull it up and then you can't?
So, ma'am, these are your options at this time. You can either go to our website and you can file a complaint against.
Ma'am, people take control of the call to enforce criminal activity years. No, I called. Ma'am, I called. I called you, ma'am. This is inappropriate behavior. I would like to speak with your supervisor. I would like to speak with your supervisor. You're psychologically abusive, ma'am, as well as all my calls on my phone. Everywhere I call and in person going there is psychologically abusive and has not had oppressing someone in conspiracy is criminal. That carries consequences for that. To do this over and over and over and over again. I mean, they're con artists running my phone for 6 years. What am I supposed to do? I've already had identity theft, and the police department covers for it. They will not tell me. No domestic violence place will help me. They won't tell me. This is criminal. So what am I supposed to do? They already know up front to cover for crimes.
So again, I've given you your options.
You were talking to me while I was talking, and I didn't hear anything you said because you waited to when I was talking to try to give me information.
Okay, well then, will you let me speak so I can give you your options again?
I would just want to know what's going on with my the case information. If you can't give it to me, then give me a direction I can take to get information on my cases.
A direction that you can take is you can either come in person to a police department so that you can be assured who you're talking to and we can try this again, or I can try to get a supervisor on the phone with you since you are unhappy with the way that you are being helped these past years. Okay?
Okay, I'd like a supervisor.
You like to speak to a supervisor?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to put you on.
So it's deliberate, all these schemes to oppress. But the government already, for people with integrity, already had the foresight that someone may do this in their corruption, and it carries consequences for someone enlisting people in all my environments to be emotionally abusive, including family. Okay, this is the Department of Justice website. It makes it unlawful for two or more persons to agree to injure. threaten, or intimidate person in the United States. Oppress is supposed to be in there. The site altered. They altered the site because they didn't want to incriminate anyone with that oppress, because that's what they're doing, scheming to oppress me. It's a felony. So I have to go to another site because this one has altered. It has oppress has been in there for years. But now on my search they removed it because that's what they're doing.
And transfer you to our supervisor right now.
Is it a voicemail?
No, he's waiting at his desk right now.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
This is how it's supposed to look, oppress. But they altered the United States Department of Justice website. I pulled it up on there before. Yes, sir. I have been trying to get information on my records, and multiple parties did not want me to know what was going on with my reports.
What kind of records are you looking for, ma'am?
My reports.
Report specifically, or are you talking about something else?
She didn't give you any information? Would it be a good start to?
She said that you were trying to find out information about a report, but she was having difficulty locating what report you were trying to get information about.
Okay. Do you think a good start would be for you to get my name and maybe try to look it up yourself?
I absolutely will do that for you, ma'am. The most direct route is typically a report number. That way we don't have any issues with any possible misspellings of your name and things like that.
I don't have all the report numbers. It's a lot of I don't have all the report numbers.
Okay, that's fine. What is your last name? Date of birth, ma'am? Report made.
Well, to me, all of my reports are important because I reported being stalked and having this stalker for years. So it's not all of them are important, equally important to me. So it's not one that I find more important. I find all of them important.
Okay, let me see what shows up then.
Okay. What was the beginning report?
Multiple report numbers.
What is the beginning report? You went into detail about my addresses, gave me the address, and then the. I know. I'm just saying that you went into detail with the addresses in great detail. What I was asking, I keep getting distracted, and but.
Sorry, I was making sure I was just referring to the right places that you've been talking about where you made.
Can you continue what you were saying? Because we deflected and it made me lose my train of thought.
I'm sorry. So I've got several different reports that have been made over. Let's see. It looks like this year and last year. The ones that I have immediately available go back to looks like February 8th of 2023. I have a report made on February 9th of 23.
Okay, what's going on with the reports? What's going on with the reports in the investigation with them?
I'm sorry?
What's going on with the report and the investigation with them?
These are just the initial report that was made. I don't have information about the investigation that's going on with them. I'm sorry, you would need to talk to the detective that would be assigned to any of those cases for any
well, who is the detective? Who's the detective?
Well, it may be multiple detectives depending on which case that we're talking about.
You wasted my time, sir. You said that you would be able to get information on it. The lady said that she would be able to get that information with the supervisor. People play mind games and have me just waste my time and keep me on a hamster wheel out of malice.
Okay.
So what are you?
What malice that you're referring to, but I'm perfectly willing to help you as much as I can.
Okay. Did any of them close?
I'm sorry, ma'am?
Did any of those cases close?
Well, the ones that I'm seeing are information reports that were made on, let's see here, April 8th. So yesterday.
What was it?
This is an information report that was made on December the 18th.
What was that about? What was I reporting on December 18th?
Let me look it up. Hang on.
Okay. So, giving information report is a form of tampering with evidence. If they're doing information report, there's no investigation, and that's how they've been getting away with these felonies they worked up for themselves. They do an information, and they're behind all of it, so they don't want to investigate themselves. If they investigate all these people and their bad behavior, then their conspirators will say, just one second. Their conspirators will say, well, the police department told me to do it. So therefore, they cover for the people they enlisted for these crimes. I'm sorry, sir. What were you saying?
I was making sure if you were talking to me or if you were talking to somebody else.
I did say one moment. I did say one moment. I guess you didn't hear that. My calls are so difficult. It's frustrating when you have phones and can't use it properly, and the police department keeps covering for all crimes that go on with your phone and any other crime that you report. That's very frustrating, especially since these are crimes and they have not been addressed for all these years. But anyway, what were you saying, sir?
So, December 18th?
And they chose to not investigate that. They chose not to investigate that, but to do a miscellaneous report. And your supervisor, what kind of charge does that carry to choose to do something like that? Tamper with evidence and deny investigation for something as critical as that. If an abuser's hacking the phone, that's a criminal offense. Why would they do a miscellaneous report? That seems like misconduct. Your supervisor?
No, ma'am. I think that this is a situation that was referred over to our crisis intervention team and to MHMR because I don't think that it was appeared to be a credible situation.
It doesn't seem to be a credible situation. Well, I would like to recap on if the police department is committing crimes and trying to frame me with mental illness so they don't get their felonies they racked up. What is the consequence for that? If they choose to try to set me up and frame me so they don't get
Evaluating you and saying that you need some help through like MHMR or something like that, trying to get that kind of assistance for you, there's not a crime involved there.
Oh, okay. So if my phone is hacked and the police department covers for it, it has 20 something reports and refuses investigation, framing me for mental illness is a alibi that they can use so they don't get their felonies?
Alibi for what?
Okay, can I give you my YouTube channel? Can I give you my YouTube channel? Can I give you my YouTube channel? Because if I'm telling you I have a stalker, why would the police department, without investigation, want to set me up for mental health people? Typically, other women can say that I have a stalker and my device is malfunctioning. Why did the police department come and interrupt me from trying to get a protection order and blatantly lie on me and said I was creating a disturbance, which I wasn't, that was on camera footage? Why did they come to Holiday Inn Express? Sir, I'm just trying to get clarity. I'm just trying to get clarity. Why did they come to Holiday Inn Express and enlist the lady to give me a criminal trespass when I paid for a room and booked it and I had a confirmation number and was denied my hotel stay? Why did the police department come and threaten my arrest when I was in jail on false charges and then got released and they wouldn't give me my release papers? So I said, I need my release papers and I waited. So the police department came and threatened a criminal trespass to enforce I didn't get my release papers when I was in jail on false charges. Why did the police?
And I don't know what it is that you're referring to, ma'am, but if you're
Oh, it's on camera footage. It's on. I'm not being heard, sir. You're concentrating on mental illness. I'm not being heard. So they came to Holiday Inn Express and enlisted the lady to give me a criminal trespass and deflected on I had paid for a hotel stay. We didn't get a common ground on why I was lied on trying to get a protection order and forced to leave. We also didn't get a common ground why a police officer put me off a train for me getting threatened. And then I tried to incriminate. I started recording the man that threatened me, and the police came to immediately interrupt it and cover for him and told all people to leave and move the compartments of the train. And then was stood over me and then put me out for getting threatened. We haven't got any information on why these things were allowed to occur over and over. Why do you guys allow my phone to be hacked and do nothing regarding it?
I don't know what else to tell you, and I'm not.
I just don't understand why you guys want to keep setting me up, framing me for mental illness, and haven't got your consequences. You can't choose to set someone up and slander them and lie on them because you're ranking up felonies for yourself.
You are currently showing signs of mental illness, and I think that you need help.
I think that you need help because if you allow someone to remove me and I have a paid for hotel room and corruption to defraud me out of funds, if you condone that, if you condone me being in jail on false charges and deny my release papers and threaten a criminal trespass trying to get release papers, if you condone me being arrested at Arlington CPS for trying to report my daughter's abuse and they couldn't get their lie straight, I think that perhaps you need help. So I am reporting multiple different crimes for you to you, and then you try to deflect and cover for them. No, I'm just trying to incriminate people, sir, because my story is I know it's very amazing, and I don't appreciate you guys scheming to oppress me all these years, punishing me for being violated and have not had any consequences, slandering me year after year over and over again, and then I don't appreciate the police coming to one safe place enlisting them to sabotage all assistance, blatantly lied on me, and then detain me in corruption. And you guys keep covering for it. Do you know anyway? Have you ever heard of a woman being detained trying to get help to flee a domestic violence crisis? And then I don't appreciate the police department stealing my clothes after I was released from the insanity and setting up a toxic cab ride. We have yet to discuss this because you keep trying to set me up and frame me with mental illness so you guys don't get your felonies. Why can't we discuss all this police misconduct? I don't know, because each time I'm trying to report a crime, you guys want to frame me with mental illness, which is criminal. That carries consequences for you doing that. You can't just decide to lie on someone so you don't get your felonies, but no one has given you the consequences you deserve. You did not want to discuss. It's deliberate. They want to upset me each call. But like I said, these are scammers. And if you've had identity theft, or if you know anyone that has had identity theft, what are you going to do about it when you see the police department? So I want to remind you about the book I read about how they use the police department as a front for a criminal empire. They use being a police department. That's what these corrupt people, I believe, are choosing to do. The system is malfunctioning. It's supposed to give me an option to not. Yes. You have supposed to have an option if you want to put your name in, and it's not giving me the option to not put my name in. Calling the FBI. Okay, I heard something about 5 minutes for the wait. It's been 18 minutes. I've been on hold for the FBI. So they're so crooked. I went to the FBI in person, and they came and gave me a criminal trespass at the FBI for reporting crimes. That's their second criminal trespass to interrupt me reporting crimes at the Dallas FBI location. And they gave me a criminal trespass in Waco to cover up for James Hastings, as well as Tasca Elementary School teachers committing crimes and scheming to keep me away from my daughter. They set up this, slandered me, and then had CPS come in a conspiracy. And then when they got caught in their lies, the Waco FBI pretended like they didn't get this letter. And then the CPS worker and the teacher, I think her name was Miss Grogan, that blatantly lied. So the Waco FBI pretended like they didn't get the letter to cover for them, and then threatened the police for me reporting crimes that were being committed to keep me away from my child, and abuse that I suffered when I was in jail on false charges at Hill County Jail. So the police came and investigated jail staff, and they were panicking, and some people were crying because a lot of people were involved in the torture campaign. So when the police came to investigate the jail for abuse that they forced on me, then they were panicking. So I don't know what happened to that report that police officer took of jail staff misconduct and the torture campaign I endured while I was there on false charges. All jailers contribute to abuse, put me in isolation, mind games, do things to my food, even at restaurants, completely unaddressed for years. So everyone has to eat. So why not use food to violate someone? This is how long I've been on hold. They need time to be able to violate me because my abuser staff needs time to violate me, but also doing it in a manner to where you can't see that it's controlled and bought off and prepaid for before I even made the call. Hello? Hello? I'm sorry?
Yep.
Oh, no, I'm on the salon with the FBI.
Okay.
Are you finished with your meeting already?
No, she wasn't here, so I'm in HR now.
Oh, okay.
I'm in.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll give you a few more minutes then. Okay.
You're where are you at?
I'm in HR. It's across the hall from Venus and Angel's office. It's Brenda's office, HR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're not coming back to the room?
Not for a couple minutes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
How much longer do you think you'll need?
I'm just on the phone with the FBI. Okay. So the reason why I'm recording these friends call and interrupt, it was too odd when I was doing things for all these interruptions. But I think someone was deliberately orchestrating people to call and interrupt. And I know that's very unrealistic. That's why I had to do the things that I had to do to show that someone is not mentally stable and allowed to use way too much power. We're speaking of like a person from a horror movie running the government, a psycho, the stalker that you see in horror movies. How scary is that for everyone, not just me?
Your call is very important to us and will be answered in the order it was received.
30 minutes. Yes, is this the complaint line?
Yeah, this is the FBI's National Threat Operations Center. We intake complaints and threats.
Okay, what's the complaint process?
What do you mean for the complaint process?
How does the process work doing a complaint?
So are you making a complaint about a FBI personnel or?
Yes, I've made like 30 or 40 reports to the FBI and have never had a call to an investigator. A lot of the people were abusive psychologically and wouldn't take the reports, and then said that I was not allowed to call and report crimes happening to me again, and won't tell me why that they banned me from reporting crimes at the FBI. I'm being targeted by multiple different police departments, so that's a lot of felonies that they denied reports for.
Okay. Well, I can start by taking all this information from you. Can I get your first name, please?
It's Kiana, Keyyana. I want to keep that confidential. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, you don't have to provide
Okay.
numbers. Would you like to provide your phone number?
No. Oh, yes, I would. Yes. Will you not transfer me to anywhere without letting me know?
Just 1 second.
He transferred me.
Has been identified as a repeat tipster. If this is an emergency, please call 911.
After being on hold 30 minutes.